Oh, good morning, nearly afternoon. Apologies for lateness. Today, I have 3 out of 4 children poorly, including myself not feeling utterly fantastic. But nevertheless, good news abounds because I want to enjoy with you and encourage you to read Scoop of the Year by Tom Claver. It's just brilliant. It's I have to admit it took me a little while to get used to it. I wasn't a big fan of the main character. He's not terribly likeable. Well, I found him quite kind of selfish, and he has really awful ideas that benefit himself. So I didn't find him particularly warm, but in a way that's a good thing, because it means all the characters have a kind of equal play in the book. I did warm to him a little bit. I think his goal, although very selfish, was not evil. But he wasn't my favourite character in the book, and that's what I quite like in the story, is when I'm kind of attracted. I really enjoyed his sisters. His uncle is fantastic. The twins have their own unique kind of play in the book. I loved the quirky humour. I'm sure there's lots of in-jokes around journalism that possibly escaped me, but there's a lovely, very gentle humour to the book. It's quite dark as well, and I quite like that. I found that quite engaging. That you can accidentally kill people, and then not know what to do when the police come and things. It had a wonderful kind of escalation. Things just got quite gently and progressively more and more kind of outrageous and dangerous, and this escalation of his situation comes along, and the way that there's so many little threads, and this is such clever writing, I think, when there are so many little threads that get woven together and you don't even notice it's happening. So I think that's just such quality, and you can just read that so easily because it's so well written. So it's fun, it's outrageous, it's kind of silly, but in a good way, not in a it's silly in a fun, humorous way, and yet you can kind of imagine it all happening to this hapless Tom, the only thing I was a little nervous of was how they were going to end it, because things have escalated to such a point. I just thought, I don't know how this is going to have that any kind of clarity at the end, how they're going to get around. But they end it on an absolute cliffhanger, and I want to know. I'm not very good with cliffhangers. I like to know. So I did want to know if he'd won the award or not. I suspect he wouldn't, because things just never go quite his way or quite the way that he wants. So I'm not sure. But it was a great way to end the book, because it just left that kind of, oh, what if, which the whole book had been lots and lots of sort of precipices we were taken to. And so that was just another one. So it was totally in keeping with the story. And I really enjoyed it. I don't know particularly that I want to know more about Tom, as I say, but I would love to know more about the twins and any escapades that they had got up to in their lives. I'm sorry, I don't mean Tom, he's not the main character, he's the one who dies. But Martin, I mean. But yeah, there's a couple of the other characters that I'd like to know more about. I'd quite like to know a bit more about what his uncle got up to when he was overseas for all those years, because he doesn't seem the kind of guy who would have just sat on a beach somewhere and whiled away the hours. I suspect he was not just writing his book, but I wonder if he got up to more than that. So it's really juicy. There's lots in there, really full characters who've got lots of nuances and their own little backstories, yeah, I just thoroughly enjoyed it, and I'd really encourage you to read it. I'll show you again because I think the cover's really, really clever. because the house is so important. It's so important in the story. So yes, go read it quickly.